Floor it. Is it in gear? No sync light? Well, go dump and see if you got any other gears. Once it shifts into third, floor the rear one and see if it's pushing you. Balls. I don't have a test light, so I don't even know where to go from there. You'd think if the loop solenoid wasn't working, it would light would be on. Only thing I can do is get a wrench and manually shift it. If I can't fix it, he's gonna be on the whore today. Okay, so gotta get out the toolbox, get a wrench, see what I got going on here. Damn it. Dang, 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 dang. Somebody sent me a text to message. Bruce Claunch. Hello, Bruce. Alright, turn this off. Alright, so I don't know what was wrong. That's a first for me. So we thought maybe a directional clutch seal had blown on it. Maybe the tank was over full, which indicates that the pump is not pumping. So I unplugged and plugged the lube solenoid in. That didn't seem to help. So I pulled the magnetic screen to see if there was anything in it. It was clean as a whistle. So we started it back up, and then it worked. So the only thing I can think is the little check valve in the loop solenoid was stuck or something. Anyway, shutting it off and releasing the pressure, it's working again. So it's not a mechanical failure. It all points towards that loop solenoid. So I'll have to check in my parts inventory and see if I've got another loop solenoid somewhere, just in case we have to change it out. I don't know. We'll see if it works today or not. If it runs, keeps going, but as long as that flapper's straight up and down, that means it's under power. As soon as you lose power, it just kind of peters out. It just kind of halfway flaps up and down. So I'm coming in right along the side of Matt here, and then I'll just load right here alongside Jay. So there he's turning around, and It gooses it, she smokes, and that flapper's straight up and down. It's working. Ain't no good when they don't work. See, we usually push load, the cat pushes in second, but when we get really down tough here, slow, he goes down to first. And with those big 27-inch grousers, brand new grousers, in first gear, she got some pushing power. Short haul like this, oh Matt, he's going to be humping because there'll be no wait time. So the filthy whore's down there running. We'll let her warm up and then shut her back down. I just don't, with 3 scrapers, I don't know if the cat could keep up. Usually what happens is on these jobs, digging these pits, is once we get everything loaded out that he's ripped, we basically have to stop and wait for him to rip for an hour or so. This is like a super good pocket of dirt in here. That's a good sign, because we're deeper than that flood trench over there, and I know in the bottom of that was rock on this end, so I'm confident we're good in here. I don't know, this rock goes up and down. It's like this lump of crap we got right here. That's nothing but rock. We got a long way to go still. So we'll keep these ends pretty sloped so we can crawl in and out. When we get down to the bottom, that's when we'll start diving in on the ramps really hard and making them really steep. We'll leave a nice gentle ramp on one side because they want a ramp to be able to get in and out of this hole on one side. So that's usually what we do, is we leave them a gentle ramp down in. So I don't know if I've answered all your questions or not. If you got other questions, leave them in the comments. See, if I swing sharp in front of him, come back around straight, he's right on me. Not a lot of wait time. We could have push-pulled this out, but not with 3 machines. There's not enough distance, so you'd have to use two machines. I mean, you just don't get these big of loads in that short distance. I cannot believe there's that much good dirt there. That's just crazy. I've never seen that before in these holes. I gotta get rid of that big rock laying there. Gonna end up hitting that. We'll straddle it, see if I can pick it up or drag it off somewhere. There we go, got him. I got him. I gotta go get rid of him. I told Jake he was gonna have to go fire up the filthy whore. He wasn't too happy about it. He doesn't have a set of coveralls, insulated coveralls. I said, well, worst case, if you're gonna be cold, we're gonna have to run up to the co-op and buy you a pair of insulated coveralls or something. We'll go all the way up across this and go down and shut the whore off. Looks like we're not gonna need it. I love it when a problem just fixes itself. It's like a computer or your phone. Just shut it off and start it again, and the problem goes away. You can't beat that. Jeff wins. That's funny. I don't care who you are. That's funny there. We'll just pull right up here and step out onto it. How's that? Probably should set the brake. Yeah, well. You can go to the other side. Start another row. Oh boy. Alright. Jake says he's got a load of big rocks. I'm concerned that we're going to run into nasty, nasty rock here and not be able to get down. And I'm not going to take another 30,000 yards of absolute miserable junk out. Right in here it comes up. That's where she's bad. He's been banging up some doozies. Holy cow. So I don't know which way he's gonna load here. Is he loading the other way or what are we doing? I guess I should have asked him. I guess we are. I guess we're turned around. There's a big one. Holy moly. There's your doozy. There's just no way you can push through this trash. I suppose you could do it, but it'd be awful. Click the counter, down goes the hitch. So I don't really bother taking it when I'm push loading. I don't bother taking it out of 6th gear. That'll catch me, and you never wind the front up. You can't spin the wheels in this garbage. So as soon as I pick up, I just press the tranny home and get up out of the cut and then let go of it, let her go to 3rd. So you got to watch that flapper on the back there. That's going to tell you how much power you're putting to that rear engine. Now he'll put down pressure on the stinger to hold it down, but you really can't spin in this stuff. It's just awful. And he can't hold the wheels on the ground anyway. Here we go. I guess we'll turn around and go this way to the dump. To the dump, to the dump, to the dump, dump, dump. So when you're digging a hole, or even if you're cutting next to a slope, you've got to keep your sides down more than your center. And it's just the opposite on a fill. You want to keep your outsides higher than your inside. That's a pretty good downgrade here. As the oil gets warmer and everything, it's going to really take off, but thank goodness for retarders. So I'm going to go out here and start another row. I gotta kind of drag this off to get a ramp in here. I think I'm just gonna turn around and go back this way instead of going clear out. Even if I gotta make a road over there and get in and out, I'm gonna do it. So we keep track of our hours, and I've got a file called Projects Completed. So when I bid this one, I went back and looked at what it cost to do it by the hour, what we had into it, and I used that to bid this one. If you don't know what your costs are, you're not going to make money. So it's pretty important to keep track of. Keep trying to shift down. I don't need to do that. You need to know where you're at. So what I do when I come in is I have my hitch up and I just barely start skimming, and then as soon as I feel him on me right there, I lower the hitch. And the reason I leave the hitch on is if you're just kind of skimming along and you hit something, it can stop you dead, and then he's gonna ass end you, and you don't really want that. So that's why I leave the hitch on until he gets on me. So we're loading into here and kind of leaving the trailings on the rocks to help get over it. And then when we get up here, you'll load into the trailings and take a lot of this rock. So I got a hold of the tranny hold so it can't up shut. So you got to make sure the door is going to shut and you're not dribbling rocks all over. So I got a pretty good load there. You get into the rock, it'll get tougher and tougher. So I've dug every hole down here since '94. And I dug the last municipal waste pit in '94. That was the last year that they buried household garbage. After '94, they built the transfer station, and all the garbage goes to Milner Butte. So after that, I just dug the C&D pits, and I've lost track of how many I've done, but as you go down here farther on this grade, when we dig the holes, instead of all that nasty rock, you'd run into some consolidated gravel spots, and you dig through the gravel. And I think I mentioned this, you find camel teeth and camel bones. Jake found a really nice claw off a giant, or a prehistoric bear, which would be a ground sloth, giant ground sloth. You don't find that anymore. You don't find the gravels that used to be in there. So all of this area out in front of me, where these trees are piled with stuff, those are old holes that we dug. I'm gonna cut a hole through this dike. If I can get over it. Oh yeah. So we don't get a lot of traffic up here this time of year. We do have to watch for cars coming in here up to this pit. So one of the things you want to do when you run a scraper is you kind of have to be smoothing all the time. So one of the ways that we're able to move dirt cheap is we don't have support equipment, which would be a grader and a water truck or a dozer. We just smooth our own junk up in and out. Dozer doesn't have to do it. He can focus on pushing and ripping. So everybody does this different. What we like to do is when we load, it's kind of like eating corn on the cob. So you go all the way across loading, and then as you come in, after you've gone all the way across, you're going to drop your can and drag some of those trailings where you cut, smooth them up, and then just swing in front of the cat and basically load into that trailings. If you grab that pile of loose trailings first and then go into solid, you'll get a better load. And so we'll do that all the way to the end and then turn around and come back the other way. Now I have seen other guys that'll say, no, you just, every scraper comes in and you cut all the way to the one end, then back all the way up. And to me, that's a lot of wasted motion, because now the cat's got to back all the way up, and when you do that, scrapers start showing up and he gets backed up and you get a pile of scrapers and you can't get them spaced back out. So I just like to do it like eating corn on the cob. Keeps it clean. Now if you got a lot of scrapers and the cat don't want to back way up, I mean there's lots of ways to make it more efficient so the pusher doesn't have to back way up. And what I like to do is he'll move over one scraper width, back up, and I'll just come in and I'll swing in front of him really tight and then swing back around, and my stinger will be lined up perfectly with his dozer, and away we go. See, so he's backing up right now over to the other side, so I'm just going to come in and swing right around in front of him. Like this. So I'll swing tight in front of his blade and then come back around, straighten up, so that by the time I get around there, all he's got to do is hook up to me. There he is. Bam! And away we go. So in this stuff, I can give it a little more throttle. It looks like we got good dirt on this end still, not a lot of rock. So I can have the flapper sticking up a little more. I can help with the backwind. Okay, I'm gonna swing around to the left here, show you. I'll come around like this, and I'll get on top of this trailing and smooth it out on the way out. Now some guys might say, oh, you're not supposed to waste your time doing that. And maybe on a job where you got a slug of scrapers, they probably don't want you doing that, because they're going to have support equipment to take care of that, but I find it doesn't take that much time, and it leaves it nice and smooth and ready to go again. Okay, this time I'm going to come clear down here where I've been exiting, and I'm going to drag my exit ramp out a little better, so because I can't drag it this way, it'll be in the road. So I'll just come through here and blop up over this, smooth it out. And then I'll come up here and get on dump. So the other thing you got to do if you want to be a good scraper hand is you got to know how to dump dirt on a big fill and have nice smooth sides. And the way you do that is you got to get a feel for where that front wheel needs to be so you're not falling off. And then the other thing is you want your bowl set correctly, so when you open the apron and you start ejecting, it literally pushes material out on this slope and keeps it nice and clean, nice and straight looking. Looks like a professional did it. I'm dragging the road because there was some sharp obsidian in it. This road's hard, it ain't gonna give. You run over that with the tire constantly, you're gonna poke it in. Turn the heater off. Don't need no more heat. So we're going to get over here and load on the edge this time. And when you push load, you got a U-dozer. It's quite a bit wider than the semi-U. You just got to learn to stay a certain distance away from the wall. And his blade, the corner bit on his blade, will just sit and shave the edge of that down perfect. So we're getting good loads in this clean dirt on this end, really good loads. If we get in that rock, it's going to be a struggle. You know, that's such clean dirt, I think we could put it up on top of this other pile. There was no rock in that whatsoever. So I'll just put it up here. No reason to take good clean dirt and waste it. They're going to need all the clean dirt they can get their hands on. And this is a short dump, so as long as there's no rock in it, How's your fuel pressure? Just go, let me watch. Alright, he's got some kind of problem. Floor it. Is it in gear? No sync light?